name is Megmut, and I am here with Paul from North Point Bank. We're super excited to talk a little bit about the home buying process, what it looks like, and also like a bunch of different programs that we have.
Absolutely. Thanks, Meg, for the introduction. Yes, so as Meg had mentioned, we're looking, kind of give you a good idea of what the home buying process entails. What needs to be done. I mean, first and foremost, as you all know or should know, is you need to get pre-approved. Obviously, this day and age, to look at properties, they want to see that your potential sellers want to see that you are qualified for the home.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the first part of this is getting pre-approved, which I can help you with very easily. Typically, we would verify your income, your down payment, and also your credit. At that point, once I go through my process, which usually get done within a day at most, we give you a letter that's good for the loan amount that you're looking for, as well as program. I mean, keep in mind that every program out there has pros and cons, and we can definitely go over those with you in person if you'd like. Mm-hmm. But once we have this letter, the next step in the process would be, hey, now you need a realtor. Hence, Meg would be the one.
That's me, obviously. You definitely call me, 609-598-2232.
Most people, you assume, oh, listen, I have an idea, I should be fine, or I'm not even sure. You don't know until you know, meaning, go to someone, myself included. I mean, at North Point Bank here, we would run your credit, we'll verify your income, we'll get everything done so that when you get this letter, it actually is, your golden ticket. It allows you to put an offer on a property. And, you need to find out your credit score. Obviously, based on product, there are certain minimum credit score requirements. We can go over that with you. But that's the first step. Obviously, then you have to see, okay, income-wise. You want to have a job history of usually 2 years, but it could be less in certain circumstances. We want to make sure the history is solid. Down payment needs to make sure the money is sourced in your account. Mm-hmm. It has to be money we can actually see in a bank account, checking, savings, retirement. It can't be money you have in a drawer. So keep that in mind. Make sure it has to be sourced.
Can't be in a bag.
Can't be in a bag. We can do gift funds. Obviously, there are other ways around it. So
how long does it need to be seasoned?
So ideally, you want to be in the account for 60 days or more.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. And again, if it's gifts, there's a little more creative ways of getting the money in your account. We can do that for you as well. Once we see the money in your account, then we can obviously give you a letter. Mm-hmm. Most people don't realize, like, okay, what does it cost to buy a house? Well, that's a kind of a loaded question.
Yeah.
But to be quite honest with you,
3.5%
3.5%. FHA is usually more first-time home buyers lean toward that. We also do conventional with 3% down. So figure that out. 3%, 3.5% in that ballpark. Also, their closing costs. They can differ based on where you buy the home, what taxes are, insurance. But for the most part, there's a range. Probably $5,000 to $7,000 all said and done closing costs.
But you can roll that into your mortgage.
You can roll into yep. There are ways around that closing cost credit that Meg could help you with. Your seller would probably be willing to do this for you. Certain circumstances, we could help with that. Beyond that, I mean, for the most part, if it's a single-family home, really you just need to have the down payment. If it's a multi, in some circumstances, you may need a few months reserves. What that means is whatever the payment will be, typically, 2 or 3 months of the payment would have to be held in account.
Your monthly payment.
Your monthly payment,
right.
Which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. That number we can go over with you based on the property. But, these are general, rules of how the process works, what documents you need, how much money you should have.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most important thing, though, is when you get pre-approved, like you get the pre-approval, but then you really want to make sure that this is financially feasible for whoever's purchasing the home.
You're right.
So, I mean, typically you guys are, approving for about 50% to debt to income ratio.
Yeah, that's typically the max on the back end, which again, on a conventional loan, FHA, go a little bit higher. But yes, you do not want to be house poor, as we know.
No.
Everyone has a budget in mind. Okay, this is what I feel comfortable paying.
Mm-hmm.
So even in theory, if you qualify for more, if you want your payment to be X and Y dollars.
No, I remember like my husband, we was like, oh my God, we can qualify for like just myself, like $500,000. I was like, it's like a $3,500 payment. I'm personally not trying to do that.
Yes, exactly. So that's why one of the first questions I ask, and again, this is something that, any loan officer should ask, where do you feel comfortable? What monthly payment do you want to be at? And keep in mind, on a single family home, obviously the payment is what it is. But one of the ways around that is, let's say, for example, you wanted a multi-family home.
Which I always say you should do as a first-time
home buyer. It's very attractive. I think that's the way to go most of the time. It allows you to now, okay, you buy a house, you have rental income, a 2-unit, 3-unit, 4-unit even. Now, if you think about it, essentially you're going to get your mortgage almost paid for. On a 3-unit property, I mean, if you're getting...
It should be paid for.
It should be paid for. You're living for pretty much minimal. So that's a way to get a property. Maybe the payment's high, but the rental income will offset that.
Yeah,
And
because
so-
you have other people paying down your mortgage, which is,
But-
that's the goal.
That's
what everybody
ideal.
should be doing when you first start off. If somebody
That's
had told
ideal.
me, like, I only need, anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 to buy a house, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well,
when
that's the
I was
thing.
younger.
That's the part with the guidance and how we can help. We can give you some guidance. And you have an investment property as well that generates income and tax deductions and everything else.
Right.
So it's a win-win situation. And most people prefer, start with a multi, then maybe 2 or 3 years later, I'll go with a single. Now you have investment property, and then obviously the value is going to increase. The equity is going to be there. So you can even talk about refinancing down the road and other options. But this is just a kind of a starting point of what most people do.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way to start the process.
So basically, when you're looking to buy a home, you're going to contact us. You're going to contact me over here, Megmut with Century 21. You're going to contact Paul at North Point, and we're gonna buy you a house. We're gonna help you buy a house in the best way and in the most economical way. Because again,
Yes.
I have to look at people in the face later and be like, I promise you, this was a good idea.
It's always in your best interest. And you know what? At the end of the day, we give you all the tools to succeed. Even if it's something where, I just want to get pre-qualified now to get an idea. Even if you want to revisit a few months later, at least you have it, you know what you qualify for, what you need for a down payment, what house is going for. It doesn't always happen overnight, but it's a process, and we're fine with taking you step by step.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is people don't really even understand how credit works or how to improve their credit. So something is, that you could do at least is you at least apply and see where you are credit-wise. Basically, if you are a first-time home buyer, you're looking to purchase a property, you can purchase a property with 3.5% down and get into either a multi or a single family. So you can contact us, and
We'll be
that's
happy to
going to
help.
be our little video for first-time home buyers. And then we're going to do another one
Yes.
on investment properties.
Sure, absolutely. Again, appreciate your time, everyone, today. We appreciate it.